This is not my story. It's my brother's story. My brother, or let's say Michael, was sitting in his classroom while listening to his teacher. He then told his teacher that he wanted to go to the bathroom to pee. The teacher said, "Sure." My brother stood up and got out of the classroom and went to the bathroom. When he got to the bathroom, he immediately peed. While he was peeing, he suddenly heard whispers in his ears. The voice was a male. He couldn't understand what it was saying, so he shrugged it off. When he was done, he was about to go back to the classroom. Not until he heard another whisper. The whisper was unexplained. It was like someone is trying to tell something but couldn't. It wasn't also words. As I said, it was some unexplained words. It's like a demonic word. He was also alone in the hallway, too. After he heard those whispers, he immediately ran back to the classroom. He opened the door and closed the door. The teacher looked at him and asked, "Why are you crying?" My brother's face was questionable. He touched his face and got shocked because he was crying. He then explained what happened and went back to his seat. His friend said, "Psst, did you know that story of yours also happened to Hannah? She also once told us that happened to her." My brother was completely shocked. So it wasn't only Michael experienced that, but also her friend. Who could that possibly be? Who was whispering? This happened to a friend of mine and was verified by her sister and girlfriend. The three of them were camping in an area in southern Utah. Sorry, I don't remember the exact location. And it was during the fall or early winter, so it got dark very early, around 5. When it started getting dark, the three of them built a fire and sat around it, just talking and eating, normal stuff. Everything was fine for a while, but they started to hear this weird chirping noise. She described it to me as a kookaburra call, slowed down. They got kind of freaked out at this point because it didn't sound like any regular animal. They also kept noticing rustling or movement out of the corners of their eyes, but could never see what was making it. After a while, they went to bed, and everything was fine, until my friend was woken up in the middle of the night to see what looked like hands pressed up against the outside of her tent, and she heard a weird, wet breathing sound, like when someone has a stuffy throat and kind of wheezes while breathing. She said she was so scared she couldn't talk, but was able to wake up her sister. They stayed quiet, and eventually the handprints kind of just faded away. In the morning, they wanted to get the hell out of there, so they started packing up their stuff at sunrise. My friend looked around where the handprints had been and saw a trail of long, skinny footprints leading up to their campsite, but not away from it. Her and her sister aren't the kind to bullshit around, so I believe that this really happened. To this day, she's convinced it was a skinwalker